The goal of this screencast is to hopefully help you with your organization of and use of Google Docs, in particular forms that are already created there that you need to complete and use. And I think one of the things that's caused people the most trouble is the fact that most of your folders, unless you've already moved them, are not in My Drive. Once you move them into My Drive, the folder structure, or collection structure as they call it in Google, looks more similar to what you're used to. And I thank Mr. Lauer for letting me use his account here for this demonstration. And you see I've already moved RHS resources over there under My Drive. If you haven't done that, they're just listed over here, and it kind of restricts or limits their usability. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to work from the PLC master collection. So I'm going to just click on that, and I come up here to the Move To, and click on Move To, and I'm going to select My Drive, and I'm going to move it. And now you'll see it appears over on the left, which gives you a structure. As I click this little caret to the left of the PLC master icon, it opens up into more of a tree system that I think everybody's much more familiar with. Once you've done that, and I would suggest you do that with the RHS resources as well, which you can see I've already done that in Fred's account. Once you moved into My Drive, I think they're a lot easier to work with. So let's start with the meeting notes. And I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to select the Agenda Minutes 2013-14. This is the form that we should be using this year. I'm going to open that up, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy of that. And you see copy of Agenda Minutes 2013-14. Working a little slowly. Okay. I'm going to copy. I'm just going to close this out a second. So I'm going to go back to all items. And you'll see there's a copy of Agenda Minutes 2013-14. Now, I'm going to close up the PLC Master. The Fine Arts Collection is already in Fred's My Drive. So I already have that over there. So again, going back to all items. I'm going to take this document here, and I want to make sure it's in the agenda meeting folder over here. Now you see they've also already created one for this year. You don't have to do that, many teams have, but if you're using the correct naming convention, you should be able to find them chronologically anyways. So we're going to drop that in there, and there you see the copy of Agenda Minutes 2013-14. Now you can see Kylie's way ahead of the game here, and she's already created a template for this team. So for those that don't know the shortcut, what I'll do at this point is open this copy form up, immediately rename it as Meeting Agenda Minutes template, as Kylie's already done. And once you've done that, you can come along and complete some of the fields that are going to be consistent each time, and it's really the ones that I've just clicked through: long-term goal, norms, the name. You can put everybody's name here as present, just move them over here in the absent. Depends how large your team is, I guess, whether that's the best use of time or not. And rename it as your template. And from this point on, I'm going to close that out. Each time we have a meeting, I'm going to come into my teams folder here. I'm going to come into the template, and I'm not calling that just because Kylie's already done one. I'm going to open up my template. And the first thing I'm going to do before I begin doing any work on it is I'm going to make a copy of it. And at that point, I'm going to give it the appropriate name for today's meeting. So in this case, year first again, then month, then day, then underscore, and then the team name. And so I want to share it with the same people, and I'm going to hit OK. Now I have my template. I have certain items that are already in here, and I can continue with my meeting minutes from this point on. And it doesn't require me starting fresh each time, and I have my template now constantly in my team's folder there, or my collection, and it just gives me easy access to that. Here's the one I created today. Oops, I need to scroll up a little bit more. I can't quite see it. 13, 14 visual arts minutes. Just drop it in there. And now we have access to that. And I would encourage you to do the same thing, going back to PLC Master with the pacing guide. Come into the master folder, go into the pacing guide. It's pacing guide 2013-14. Make a copy of it, rename it, and do the same thing. In this case, he would drop it instead after he finishes, or their team finishes it. They come back into the Fine Arts folder and drop it into the curriculum materials and pacing guides collection. So I hope this is helpful, and I thank Mr. Lauer again for allowing me to use his account for this demonstration. And if you have any questions or if something wasn't clear in this, please be sure to let me know.